million ticket requests for the upcoming World Cup tournament. $1,000. But after heavy criticism here over the prices, FIFA said last month that it will offer $60 tickets. FIFA says it will notify people about their ticket applications no earlier than February 5th. So stand down. February 5th is the earliest you will hear from them.
The city is buzzing ahead of another Bears playoff game this weekend. Ice sculptures popping up in a few spots downtown, courtesy of the Bears. And this one on the Merchandise Mart is named the Iceman, honoring Caleb Williams.
Good Day Chicago at 8 starts now.
And right now at 8 o'clock, it has been an unforgettable season for the Bears, and it is all on the line this weekend. We are going to be live with the excitement ahead of their big divisional playoff game against the Rams.
Plus, a new push to get the Bears to leave Chicago for Northwest Indiana. We're going to break down the new offer.
And Bears are enticed by the offer, let's say that much. And Sunday's weather could play a big role in the game. We are tracking the temperatures, which could end up dropping to single digits. Uh-oh.
Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us in the 8 o'clock hour. Caitlin Cody is standing by with a check of the forecast.
Unfortunately, we do have some snow coming down again this morning. So behind me, you can see Chicagoland covered in blue. Now, this was expected, but especially from Chicago Point South, the snow is coming down at a pretty good clip. So you do expect delays on your drive this morning, starting to get lighter for portions of western Chicagoland, like in DeKalb, LaSalle, McHenry County. You've got some moderate snowfall. Let's take a closer look at this radar, where you can see again the darker blue shades moving through eastern Will County, Kankakee, into portions of Lake County and northwest Indiana. This is our first round of snow for the day, and over the next few hours we're going to continue with that potential until about 10 or 11, and then again this afternoon we're going to have the chance for some snowfall. Between about 2 and 9, scattered snow is expected, which could impact your evening commute, so slick roads are possible. Speaking of the roads, we have to talk about the airport and also the highways. Gabby, what's going on?
I know, Caitlin, it's a slow go anywhere you go. It's really a hitch in your giddy up, especially if you're trying to get out of town right now. We're talking about that ground stop at O'Hare for all arrivals. It's due to the weather conditions going on. They just extended it, the FAA, to 9 o'clock now. So we're going to have that ground stop at O'Hare until 9 o'clock. At Midway, we're not really seeing any major delays. We have 66 right now reported at O'Hare in the last 24 hours and 3 cancellations, so be aware of that. Let's take a look at our roads, and mostly you see a lot of our, crash icons over in DuPage County. Sure, they're really good at getting those reports in, but also that's where we saw the first of the heavier snow going around. You can see our road temperatures too. The salt does best when it's over 20 degrees, so luckily we're not seeing anything under 20 degrees. That still means that you should be careful. A brand new report, though, I do want to mention, I didn't have time to make a full graphic for it. A road closure, Crystal Lake area on eastbound Edgewood Road from Bay Road is going to be closed due to an accident right now. So if you live in that area, please be aware of that. Let's take a look at your drive times. If you are headed into the city, it's a slow go wherever you are. A full 60 minutes on the Kennedy from O'Hare to downtown. I'm going to call it 55 minutes on your outbound trip if you are headed towards O'Hare. 60 minutes on the Eisenhower, 60 minutes as well on the Stevenson, and a full 50 minutes on the Dan Ryan from 95th to the Burn interchange. Here's a look at the Dan Ryan near 35th. It is pretty yucky out there. Be safe. I'll send it back to you.
Okay, thank you, Gabby. Appreciate the update there. Well, the city of Chicago remains pumped up for the Rams to take on the Rams and hopefully beat them this Sunday.
Yes, so Roseanne has been out all morning, and it's one of our favorite days when we can get out and talk to the Bears fans because they're always so excited and cheerful, Roseanne.
Good, better, best. That describes the fans out here. There are the ones who are diehard fans who are out of their mind excited. But there are also so many people who say, you know, I sort of watched them before, but this season is different. I've been glued to my TV, and many of them cursing at the TV part of the season. But always Bears pulling it out and pulling them in. So I think they're going to have a lot more hardcore fans after this season, that's for sure. So we've been talking to them about some of the highlights of the season, some of the new things, the good, better, best T-shirts and everything that we're seeing, the cheese grater hats, you name it. But mostly everybody's just excited about what they have seen come out of that team. We talked to a couple of fans just a little while ago.
I'm just hoping for more of this weather, and that way the LA Rams have to struggle a bit. I just want to see them go out, hopefully not a comeback like it always is, a little bit more comfortable win this year.
You want to give your heart a break?
Yeah, I need a little bit of rest. I'm sweating it out over here, but it should be great.
Oh, incredible. So many crazy wins. Ben Johnson is killing it. So.
And so you expect the same Sunday?
Oh yeah. They should definitely, hopefully win. Yeah.
Okay, now most people, there are the diehard fans who go to the stadium and watch the game, but, most of us are going to be on our couches at home. But everybody's planning the menu, setting aside the time. And I just feel like earlier I talked about how, I saw Soldier Field lift off the ground. I feel like this Sunday we're going to hear the shouts and cheers. I live in an apartment building. I know I'm going to hear it from the various floors. I think you're going to hear it echoing on the streets of the city because there's an awful lot of excitement about our Chicago Bears. We'll be chatting with more of them throughout the morning. Back to you.
I love the enthusiasm. Roseanne, thank you so much. And Fox Chicago is your destination for coverage of the Rams versus the Bears on Sunday. Bears Game Day Live starts at a special time for us, 12:30, nice and early. Once the game ends as well, we will have post-game reaction with Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams. We will go inside the locker room.
So listen to this. Indiana is taking another step toward being the home of the Chicago Bears. On Thursday, lawmakers introduced a measure to create a Northwest Indiana Stadium Authority. Members would oversee the construction of any new Bears stadium. In a statement, the Bears say in part, they appreciate the leadership and responsiveness of Governor Braun and Indiana lawmakers in advancing a framework that allows these conversations to move forward productively. 3 former DePaul basketball players are among dozens of others charged in a point-shaving scheme. 39 athletes in total, including a number from 3 of them, in fact, from DePaul, are named in this indictment. Prosecutors claim dozens of games were fixed over the last 2 seasons. Former Chicago Bulls player Antonio Blakeney is accused of recruiting these players who were apparently making between $10,000 and $30,000 per game to underperform.
We're not talking the stars of the team here. The players that were targeted were more of the reserve players or rotation players who are making less money and more susceptible to bribes. They would then coordinate with their teams to underperform in the game, lose by more than Vegas and the odds makers anticipated them to lose by, and then ultimately make the fixers a lot of money when they were placing bets at casinos.
A DePaul spokesperson calls these allegations deeply disappointing and confirms that no current student athletes were members of the 2023-2024 team. They go on to say, quote, the university has a long-standing commitment to educating our athletics community about the dangers and consequences of sports gambling. People in Will County demanding action after a deadly school bus crash in Manhattan. Fire officials say the bus and a car collided at the intersection of Manhattan-Monee Road and Kankakee Road Thursday morning. 10 students from District 114 were on that bus. The driver of the car was killed. Manhattan residents tell us they've been complaining about that intersection for a long time, but nothing has changed.
All the time. I mean, there's accidents, not necessarily right here, but these intersections, we're always seeing flashing lights and emergency vehicles.
Several times a year.
Yeah, this year there's been more than usual. A lot of Lifestar flights. There was one recently over there, and there was another one over here a couple months back.
The cause of the crash is under investigation. President Donald Trump threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act to stop protests in Minneapolis.
As Brian Jackson reports, tensions are growing after 2 ICE-related shootings. Brian?
Well, protesters clashed with federal immigration agents for another night on Thursday. These demonstrations followed 2 shootings with ICE agents, one which led to the death of Renee Nicole Good. The Insurrection Act can be used to enforce the law or suppress rebellion against the U.S. government. If the president decides to invoke this law, he would be able to send in the military or National Guard troops even against Minnesota's wishes. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the ICE agents are just trying to do their jobs, but Minnesota leaders claim that ICE is igniting fear across communities. The Chicago firm representing the family of Renee Good joined us on Chicago Live to talk about their investigation into her death. Civil rights attorney Anthony Romanucci says that the family deserves justice.
She was a mother, she was a daughter, she was a sister, a committed partner, she was an animal lover, she was a member of the PTA. She had many roles in her life, and none of them were the roles that the government said that she was right after this shooting occurred. So you can imagine her life being taken away in a split second and not having her, not having had the chance to say goodbye.
The Department of Homeland Security claims that the agent who shot Good was acting in self-defense. You can watch that full interview right now on Fox32Chicago.com. Anthony?
All right, Brian, thank you for that update. New this morning, Bally's is pushing back the opening of its new $1.7 billion casino here in Chicago. The problem here, its license to operate at Medina Temple expires in September. The Chicago Tribune reports State Rep Cam Buckner introduced a bill on Thursday that would give Bally's a 12-month extension while it finishes up construction on their new home. Now, that means the River West locations wouldn't be ready until 2027. It was supposed to be open late this year. And there could be a new development as well coming to Lincoln Yards. The Chicago Department of Planning and Development has approved a plan for the north branch there of the Chicago River, right along there. The development is being called Foundry Park. It's $3 billion in scope. It includes apartments, office, and hotel space. And this project could break ground as early as this fall.
The sports buzz in Chicago is all about the Bears right now, but there will be plenty of Cubs fans downtown this weekend. The annual Cubs convention starts today. It's held at the Sheraton Grand Chicago through Sunday. This year marks the 10th anniversary of the World Series championship team ending their 108-year drought. And I was just thinking of that when we talk about the excitement of the fans at Soldier Field. Do you remember the night the Cubs won the World Series?
For sure.
And you could hear the entire city just shouting with excitement. And here's hoping the Bears end their 40-year Super Bowl championship drought. Chicago's pumping up fans to pump up the team. Next week, the Wiener Circle is hosting a look-alike contest for star quarterback Caleb Williams. So they're putting all their eggs or their hot dogs in one basket, you could say. They're anticipating a win on Sunday. Of course, the Wiener Circle, the famous hot dog stand on Clark Street, next Tuesday, 6 p.m. Their last look-alike contest for Johnson drew nearly 1,000 fans, or the last look-alike contest. It wasn't held at the Wiener Circle, but I say if you've got a friend that looks like Caleb Williams, I've got a single friend that they might need to meet. You know?
There you go. I look forward to seeing the results of that look-alike contest.
As do I, yes.
Indeed. Caitlin, Cody, it is going to be a cold one for anyone going to Soldier Field on Sunday. Run us through the details.
Okay, well, didn't Roseanne interview a woman who said the colder the better? The colder the better?
Yeah.
Listen, we're playing LA.
Exactly.
Let's bring that temperature down. As long as you're dressed the right way, which in Chicago, we know how to prepare for the cold. But before we get to the weekend forecast, let's talk about what's happening right now, because we do have snow across Chicagoland. Most of the moderate snowfall is going to be from Chicago, Point Southeast. I also want to point out that darker blue shade near McHenry County, where the snow is going to be picking up for you, too. So this could lead to a quick minor accumulation. Under an inch is expected, but it could get slick out there. So behind me, again, you can see who is receiving the snowfall. Light snow in Chicago. You're seeing it from Gary, a little bit heavier, down to eastern portions of Will County into Kankakee County. Light snow now pushing into Porter County. Lake County, it's picking up for you, headed towards I-65. And then, as mentioned, you can see in McHenry County that snow is starting to move in, too, as well as in northern DeKalb County. This is the first round of snow for today. Then we're going to get a little bit of a lull, a break, and then the snow is going to return this afternoon between about 2 and 9. That round is going to be light and scattered. Visibility is dropping down to less than a mile from O'Hare to Midway with this snowfall, down to a half mile in Gary. Just take your time this morning. Temperatures, they're going to be chilly, and we'll take a look at that Bears forecast. I know I just teased you about how cold it's going to be. Your 7 days coming up next time you see me. Back to you.
Okay, thanks, Caitlin. Plenty more Good Day Chicago ahead, but first, we are celebrating Bears fans on this Friday before the big game. Here's a look at some of those Orange Friday photos you sent in.
That was a cute little pooch there in the puppy jersey. A birthday cake.
That cake was amazing.
There you go. I love these different galleries. We're getting like a different one every hour here on Good Day. Thank you so much for sending all these photos in. You are our extended Bears family, and we are all pulling together in anticipation of this huge game. Bear down. We'll be right back.
What are you girls doing?
We're doing all the heating, plumbing, and electric around here.
All right, I know you girls know stuff, but let's leave it to our trusted local experts. Let's call Four Seasons.
It's about time you figured it out.
Whether it's heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, air duct cleaning, or generators, you can always trust Four Seasons.
For all the right reasons, call 866 4 Seasons. at Postmaster.
Welcome back. U.S. and Iranian officials faced one another at the UN Security Council Thursday after weeks of escalating tensions. The U.S. ambassador to the UN says President Trump has signaled that all options are on the table, even as Trump seemed to back away from military intervention. The deputy Iranian ambassador to the UN said the U.S. is steering unrest in Iran to violence. Activists say the Iranian government's crackdown on nationwide protests have now led to at least 2,600 deaths.
U.S. forces have seized another sanctioned oil tanker in the Caribbean. The White House says it is tied to Venezuela. This is the sixth tanker the U.S. has captured. And take a look at this video. It's pretty amazing. This is the sixth tanker the U.S. has captured in an effort to take control of Venezuela's oil. The International Maritime Organization's database shows the ship was previously registered in Russia. And Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado has given President Trump her Nobel Peace Prize medal. She called it recognition for his unique commitment to the country's freedom. Trump called it a gesture of mutual respect. The president has never backed Machado as a leader, even questioning her credibility to take over the country. Right now, Nicolas Maduro's former vice president, is running the country.
President Trump is unveiling a new health care proposal, and this plan would send money directly to Americans through health savings accounts, HSAs. Then the individual can decide on their insurance coverage based on their health care costs. Critics of this say it doesn't come close to making up the difference of those expired enhanced subsidies involved with the Affordable Care Act. The Trump administration, though, says otherwise.
If this plan is put in place, every single American who has health care in the United States will see lower costs as a result. They will see more transparency.
The White House hasn't said how much money people would see in those health savings accounts. And it is still not clear yet if lawmakers are working to formally introduce that plan as well. 8:19, sending things back over to Caitlin Cody, who last check, I believe, promised us more information on the 7-day forecast and exactly what's happening Sunday.
So, producer, if we get to the end of this, you say wrap, and I haven't shown you the 7-day yet. I have to. I have to. I know, I did. You're right. I promised. All right, maybe we'll go a little bit quicker through these next few slides. Talking about the snowfall first, because it's 8:19 in the morning. It's rush hour, and we have, unfortunately, unfortunately, the snow coming down, especially south of the city. So in Chicago, we do have light snow, but it's heavier as we get a little further south along I-57, now moving into Lake County. I-65 going to be impacted here shortly. Taking a look to our northwest, McHenry County, you have snow picking up as well. This is the first round of snow, but even this afternoon, scattered light snow is not out of the question. Under an inch of accumulation is what we expect, but it still could be slick out there. Temperatures are in the 20s right now, 27 degrees at the lakefront and O'Hare. Here's your futurecast to show, again, we're going to have that break from the snow, and then it comes back again. Between about 2 and 9, we're going to have scattered light snow possible, also a little bit gusty. Temperatures pushing into the 30s. And then this evening, back down to the teens, and that's going to carry us into this weekend, where temperatures are going to be hovering around 20, and you can see that passing light snow. We have the potential for some light scattered snow showers around on Saturday, as well as, you got it, for the Bears game on Sunday. Here's your 7-day forecast. Temperatures right around 21 degrees as our high on Sunday. Notice our low down to 4. So for the game, temperatures in the low, I would say around 10 to 15 degrees. Prepare for that. Now, with that being said, next week, we start off very cold. For Martin Luther King Day, a high of only 9, and then we're back to 20 for Tuesday. 30s return for a short stint on Wednesday, and then Thursday, back down to 24. Back to you.
Thank you, Caitlin. We've got a lot coming up for you here today on Chicago Now. Congressman and Chicago mayoral candidate Mike Quigley talks about his proposal to cut funding for ICE as protests against the agency grow in Minneapolis. Plus, a Chicago woman is heading to the Olympics. Sarah Warren walks us through the moment she made Team USA's speed skating team. And AI is giving Bears fans a new way to cheer, vent, and celebrate during the team's playoff run. All that and more coming your way at 10 a.m. on Chicago Now.
Hi, Mom.
All right, if there is something that Bears fans are very familiar with, it might be the cold weather. This weekend's playoff game could be an entirely different beast if you're not used to this, possibly one of the coldest games on record at Soldier Field. So, to keep everybody safe, we're checking in with Endeavor Health ER Dr. Rodney Fulmer, who is here with some basic info about how we prepare ourselves for Sunday's game. If we're going to be outside, Dr. Fulmer, thank you for being here. We appreciate it, sir. Go Bears.
Go Bears. It's a pleasure to be with you.
All right. So what are the big bullet points we want to start off with? Obviously, frostbite is the thing that we want to make sure we avoid. So what's your message?
Absolutely. Frostbite is the thing we worry about most as emergency medicine physicians. The big thing is we want you to be prepared. Prepared is going to be the key to keeping you from getting frostbite and having injury. That starts with your dress, but that also starts with making sure that you're pre-hydrating before you go to the game. We want you to have a good meal and drink with lots of fluids, preferably water and electrolyte-based fluids before going to the game. That's very important. And then a 3-layer system to keep yourself warm. We want you to have a base layer that will be wicking to keep the sweat away from you. Wetness and coldness together are really the enemy to frostbite and really is what causes frostbite. Secondly, we want you to have a middle layer that is like wool-based or something that is warm, but not tight. We don't want anything constricting. The last layer needs to be wind-based or windproof or also waterproof. Those 3 things, those 3 layers are going to help keep you warm. And then make sure you're covering all of your fingers, your toes, your nose. All of those things need to be covered as much as possible and dry to keep you from getting frostbite.
What material do you like for that first layer that you mentioned?
So anything that's anti-wicking, that is a wicking material, so that base layer that can be a fairly snug layer. We don't want it to be constricting, but we want it to be anti-wicking. So if you look, there's a lot of different materials out there that say that they're a wicking material. That's perfect. I don't want you to have more of a plastic layer that will trap sweat in. We want something that's actually going to pull sweat away from your body to keep it dry.
Okay. One of the questions that I want clarification on is we're all used to dealing with like cold extremities when we're at these games. Our fingers get cold, our toes get cold. But what is the moment that it goes from just, oh yeah, my feet are ice blocks to this could be getting into frostbite territory?
Absolutely. Great question. So what we're looking for is when things start to become painful. So if you start getting numbness or tingling, you start getting like a prickly sensation in your hands, when the color of your skin starts to change. Now, everyone gets a little redness when they go out, but we're talking like prolonged redness to a white color, almost like a waxy consistency of the skin as well. Those are very big warning signs for us. Do not ignore pain and numbness. That is something I do not want you to ignore. Those are very important key signs to look for. And if you start to notice numbness or pain, that is the time that you need to get out of the cold and make sure reassess to see if you have dry layers and that you're protecting yourself properly.
Okay, last question I have has to do with drinking. Okay, there's no chance that most fans are going to go to this game without like having a couple beers out there and maybe getting a little liquored up before the game itself. What is your message there? Is there a false sense of security that people need to know with regard to the booze factor on Sunday?
Absolutely. The alcohol will actually causes you to dilate your blood vessels, and therefore it sends blood to your skin and actually can make you get cold faster. So it actually increases your opportunity for frostbite. So it needs to be in moderation. I don't want to tell anyone not to have a good time, but be careful. And that goes with being prepared. So we want you to hydrate before. I think that's one of the things people forget most is drinking water before the game. If you're going to have alcohol, make sure you're supplementing with water as well. Don't all drink alcohol, kind of split between the two of water and then maybe alcohol. That is going to help you combat that dilation that you can get that makes you at higher risk for being exposed to frostbite.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Fulmer. We appreciate all the common sense heads ups before we go into this cold game. Go Bears. Thank you for joining us.
Go Bears.
All right. 8:28. Short break. We are going to talk with Fox News Sunday host Shannon Bream, who has a lot on the agenda for Fox News Sunday. And then later at 9 o'clock, Lou Canellis is going to teach us the history of the Bears-Rams rivalry as they prepare to face each other head-to-head on Sunday. Caitlin?
Temperatures aren't bad this morning. We're in the 20s, but we have scattered snow coming down, especially southeast of Chicago. Now, we're not done with the snow. We have rounds of snow expected all the way through the weekend, and the temperatures are not going to stay mild like they are today. In fact, for the Bears game, it's going to be very cold. A full check of your forecast is coming up.
Saturday.
Welcome back to Good Day Chicago. You know, we never seem to have enough time to go over all the big stories when Fox News Sunday host Shannon Bream joins us, but we're going to try this morning.
I don't know how Shannon gets through all of the material on her show itself because there's so much these days. Shannon, good morning to you. Let's start with the whole situation going on in Minneapolis right now. ICE now involved in 2 separate shootings there. President Trump threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act here. What could that look like?
So I think it'll look like a huge legal battle. I think you guys are right. It's tough to get to everything that's happening in the country, but domestically here, that is the top story. The president would have to show that essentially there's a breakdown there, and the state being able to handle things on its own, its law enforcement, its court systems. And the Attorney General there, Keith Ellison, has said, if you try it, we'll take you straight to court.
And then the situation with Iran, very tense, obviously. We're talking about thousands of people killed during anti-government protests. The president says the U.S. could step in. Where do things stand with that this morning, Shannon?
So I think a lot of people who were there on the streets risking their lives, you know, and we've seen this many times over the last couple of decades, they're acting having seen the president act within Iran and the nuclear program, that precision strike our military carried out. So when he says sort of essentially we've got your backs, they believe that. Now, he's toned down the language the last day or two, although we know we're moving military assets apparently into that region. But apparently there's been a lot of lobbying behind the scenes from Israel, from Qatar, from others in that region, asking the president to hold off on actually doing some kind of kinetic strike or military action with respect to Iran. So there are a lot of other things the U.S. could do, you know, cyber attacks and messing with communications there and other things that can happen that we don't know about and aren't as public. But for now, the White House a little bit quiet on that front.
Okay, speaking of moving military assets, and this wouldn't necessarily involve U.S. troops, but President Trump not backing down on his push to acquire Greenland. And we've heard that NATO is going to be deploying troops there. What could happen next, and how significant of a move is that?
Goodness. So, you know, the president has said, I'm worried about the national security implications, Russia impinging on Greenland, those kinds of things. So a number of bodies are sending troops. You've seen some of our European allies also say, OK, we'll send some troops there if that would quell that concern that you have. There was a meeting this week, top officials from Denmark and from Greenland with, you know, Vice President Vance and with Secretary of State Marco Rubio. And, you know, they came away from that meeting, those foreign leaders, saying, this did not end well. We're not on the same page about this. But there was talk of this commission that's going to come together to try to quell some of the concerns or, you know, tamp down what's currently happening. But there's a bipartisan delegation of U.S. senators over in Denmark right now trying to smooth this over and saying there's no way we should ever be having a conversation about any kind of military action with respect to a NATO ally.
Shannon, finally, who do you have on the show this week?
We've got Republican Senator John Cornyn. We have got Democrat House member and ranking Intel member Jim Himes. We'll talk through all the foreign policy and the domestic issues, including the fact that we run out of money at the federal government level in a couple of weeks. Are we looking at another government shutdown?
Fox News Sunday host Shannon Bream. Thank you so much,
Full
Shannon.
plate for Shannon.
Thank you.
Oh, boy. I appreciate it. All right, 8:34. Let's send things over to Caitlin Cody for a check of the weather and the temperatures out there, how the weekend's looking, and then this Bears game on Sunday.
Okay, so we are flip-flopping from yesterday. We had the sunshine yesterday, but it was cold. Today, we've got the snow and the clouds, but the temperatures are actually quite mild. 27 degrees now at the lakefront. We are on our way to the 30s today. It is 27 from O'Hare to Midway as well, 30 in Joliet and LaSalle. So now that we've got the temperatures shown, let's talk about the snow, because you may have to hit the road here shortly. Maybe you have loved ones who are traveling to work this morning. Know that the snow is coming down, especially from Chicago points southeast, especially from I-57 points east, now moving into Lake County. So portions of Will County, Kankakee, Lake County, Jasper, Newton County, some moderate snowfall for you. Western areas like DeKalb, you still have some light snow around. McHenry, your snow has picked up here in intensity. All of that being said, we expect under an inch of accumulation with this. Our futurecast shows that we're holding on to the potential for some scattered snow even this afternoon, and it could be a little bit gusty. So any snow that falls, or if it is falling, it's going to be blowing around, dropping visibilities, which could impact your evening commute too. Now, as we move on into the weekend, colder air is going to be drifting in. We also have rounds of some light snow around. Temperatures are going to be around 20 degrees both Saturday and Sunday with some snowflakes flying. We'll take a look at your full 7-day forecast, including our very chilly Monday ahead.
Thanks, Caitlin. The Chicago Bears have brought brand new energy, obviously, to this season, and we think that calls just maybe for a brand new anthem. Pastor Bruce Kirk is here with a new song, pumping up fans ahead of Sunday's game against the Rams.
Let's go, bear down, let's go. No matter what the score may be, no matter how.
Welcome back. Time now 8:38 on your Orange Friday morning. Here are some of the top stories we are following for you this morning.
President Donald Trump threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act to stop protests in Minneapolis. Now, if he does, he'll be able to send in the military or federalize National Guard troops despite Minnesota's wishes.
Cicero police say they have arrested someone for the shooting death of 17-year-old Johan Adarve Sanchez. Sanchez was killed on January 8th. He was a student at Morton East High School. Police say the suspect is also 17, but they are not a student at Morton East. That shooting happened because of a fight between rival groups of teenagers.
Bally's pushing back on the opening, or pushing the opening back of its new $1.7 billion casino in Chicago. The River West location will not be ready until 2027. So this means it'll likely operate out of the Medina Temple until then.
Bears fans are fired up ahead of Sunday's playoff game against the Rams.
Roseanne is live with all the excitement and the snow. Roseanne?
That's right. I have what we like to call in Chicago a combo. Not an Italian beef with sausage, but instead a little weather report with a side of sports news. How about that? Let's take a look at the snow where we are by the Belmont CTA station. And you can see it is accumulating in the city. It's coming down pretty good right now. Right across the street, they just salted that sidewalk, that beautiful clear sidewalk. They plowed it. A little machine went by and salted it. And let me tell you, the salt is helping this morning. I can't tell you how many people I've seen slip. I haven't seen anybody go down yet, but they've slipped. Now let's talk about bearing down. And I don't know who put that on this car windshield over here, but we have been talking to fans this morning about the fandemonium spreading across the city. There's so many moments this season that people are remembering. Ben Johnson with the shirt off in the locker room. Good, better, best. DJ Moore scoring a touchdown. People grating cheese in the stadium. It's one of those years where we just have so many takeaways, and fans are excited. We spoke with a couple of them a few moments ago.
I'm really excited. As a lifelong Chicagoan, it's really great to see the Bears doing so well this season.
It's huge. Haven't been to the playoffs since I was in, I think, 8th grade, so the fact that we won a game is huge against the Packers. And we're going to be home again, bringing the Rams here. Can't wait.
I'm just hoping for more of this weather, and that way the LA Rams have to struggle a bit. I just want to see them go out. Hopefully not a comeback like it always is, a little bit more comfortable win this year.
You want to give your heart a break?
Yeah, I need a little bit of rest. I'm sweating it out over here.
So people just excited for their plans on Sunday, most of them planning to spend it on the couch. As I was saying earlier, I think we're going to hear some collective shouting across the city during that game. And, oh, yeah, I rolled out my bling for the occasion. This is another thing we've been seeing a lot of. They've been selling merchandise like crazy. Back to you guys in the studio.
The chain looks great, Roseanne. I'm going to need me one of those.
I don't know what's more popular, and as a head nod to Roseanne, the beefs or the paraphernalia from the Bears.
I don't know either way. 8:42 here on Good Day Chicago. Yep, Orange Friday. We are cheering on the Bears. They get ready to face off against the Rams. We're loving these photos you all have been sending in. Keep them coming, everybody. And hopefully these will roll on for weeks, right? Send good vibes to the Bears this morning. We'll be right back.
Rivalry game to be walked on like a rung in a ladder to gain their fame. We know it's just a game and we don't mean any harm, but how you felt the other night it just become your norm. 31-27, you'll never forget that whopping. Get used to it, that's what Caleb be cooking. Let's go bear down, let's go, let's go, let's go bear down, let's go.
Okay, this is a new anthem for Bears fans, specifically referencing this past weekend's big win over the Packers. We're riding the energy all the way to Sunday's playoff game against the Rams. Pastor Bruce Kirk is the mind behind this new anthem, and he's here to walk us through kind of how he crafted this thing, because you describe yourself as a tech guy, and you wrote a lot of this yourself, but you also utilize some tools. Walk us through the process here, Pastor.
Yes, I wrote this song just about a week ago, I guess, right after the game. And I've been working with some AI, I don't know what you would call it, but software.
Yeah.
And so it lets you put in what genre you want, and it lets you put in the voices and all these different things, and then you add your lyrics. Once I added my lyrics, I put it in, turned it on, and 4 or 5 songs came out. So I have one in country, I got one in R&B, and this one was the one that my wife and my son liked. And so this is the one that I put out.
That's cool. It almost, the voice, like the hook, almost sounds like a CeeLo Green or someone like that. That's really cool. And so you put this out there into the world. You wrote all the lyrics, though. That was all from you.
Yes, yes.
How long did the whole process take?
Well, it took about 2 days.
Okay.
My wife was in the hospital at Northwestern, and so as I was ministering to her, I started writing it. The night that they won, you know, I was fretting that she had surgery on the Monday.
Oh, okay.
And so my son and I, we were just like...
Yeah, locked in.
Yeah, but when the Bears were losing, we were going crazy, right?
No.
And we turned it off. I actually turned it off. Sorry, Bear fans, but I couldn't take it. My heart couldn't take it.
Well, if you're dealing with a family health issue... We understand.
Yes.
We totally understand. Well, how's your wife? Do you mind if I ask?
She's doing great. So many people prayed for her. Yeah, she's doing excellent right now. So
okay, that's great. That's great news. Absolutely. All right, Pastor. Well, at what point in this season did you realize we had something special? I see you got number 18 on.
Well, you know, when actually I realized when we got Caleb.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Oh.
Okay, I was just waiting for this year to come, and when he started to do his magic. I knew then that this was a whole new Bears team. And I told my son, I said, if we beat Green Bay, which is the Bears Super Bowl, we can go to the Super Bowl. I've been telling guys that if we beat Green Bay, the Bears have the ability to win the Super Bowl, to win it all.
I like that optimism. I do have to ask you this, too, as a pastor. We reported, I think it was the Steelers, had a priest, like, what would they do? I think he was, like, blessing the end zone or something like that at a recent game. You know, oh, yeah, holy water on the Steelers field. There it is right there.
Yes.
You got any ideas? You got any ideas for how to help the Bears this weekend? Well, I know the weather department is kind of coming through.
Well, you know what? We'll pray for them. But most of all, we're going to pray that they're healthy and they make it through, because I don't know, I don't want to talk bad about this guy, but maybe he needs to read his Bible with that holy water, man, because I'm trying to figure out why they didn't win the other night.
Exactly.
You know? So God must have more important things to do. But I'll be praying for the Bears, and I think most of the people in Chicago will. It's an exciting time with all the madness going on in the world. It's just like that win was just amazing. So.
We'll never forget it.
Never,
we'll never
man.
forget it. All right, we're getting the wrap, but if they do win on Sunday, can we expect maybe another anthem?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
It really sounds cool. I'm super impressed.
I am too. I can't believe that, you know, I had that talent, but I thank the Lord for giving it to me.
There you go.
Yes,
thank you so much. Thanks for being here.
Yes, sir.
Bear
Thank
down,
you.
everybody. All right, Jake Hamilton hasn't taken off his bomber jacket in 24 hours. He got it yesterday. I think he slept in it, and he's pouring us a draft. Jake, what do you got going over there?
We've got it's the breakfast of champions here in Chicago, Anthony. And you're right, I'm not taking this jacket off for the entire playoff run. We are live out here in the West Loop. If you're panicking, trying to find the spot where you're going to watch the game this Sunday, don't worry, Recess has you. And guess what? They got plenty of room for you. We'll tell you everything you need to know coming up.
I'm Kathy.
Okay, 8:52 on your Orange Friday. Not all of us are lucky enough to watch the playoff game at Soldier Field on Sunday.
But lucky for us, Jake has a great watch party to check out. Hey, Jake.
That's right, guys. If you're realizing maybe just now that we're a little over 48 hours away from kickoff and you're thinking, crap, where are we going to watch it? Every place is booked up, and I don't want to sit at home. I want to be with other Bears fans. You might think you're out of luck, but Recess here in West Loop, you're not out of luck. They got plenty of room for you. We introduced you to this place in the last hour. We're back here with Chef Amanda, who is going to be very popular on Sunday, I would imagine. Chef Amanda, you in this room alone, 16 televisions, and the room next door, there are going to be 2 14-foot television screens projecting the game. But watching the game's one thing. You're going to get hungry. You're going to need a bite to eat. And I've been out here before and can testify you guys have a great selection. Tell us about what we have going on out here.
Well, thank you. Yeah, so we have lots of fun comfort food, shareable items, so great for groups. From pizza, like our mac and cheese with buffalo chicken on there. It's new to the menu. That one's great. Traditional wings. We have loaded tater tots, some buffalo chicken rolls, some house-made mozzarella sticks, and also some like our version of like chicken and waffles. It's like on waffle fries.
And you use such a great word, which is shareable, because this is going to be, for so many reasons, such a communal experience for all of us getting together on Sunday. And who's to say that, the table next to me has cheese sticks and I've got some tots, and who's to say that we couldn't do a little trade? I feel like it's the kind of food that brings people together. Am I right?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, lots of shares. So it'd be great. Share with your neighbors, share with your table. It'd be great.
Well, I know folks at Fox 32, they keep hearing the word share, and they're going to think, well, is Jake going to bring anything back? And I can lovingly tell you guys, no. Chef Amanda, oh, no. Trust me, this will cover me for tonight. Chef Amanda, thank you so much. All right, guys, we also talked a lot about, Jesse, I want to bring over the director of beverages. This is my man, Jesse. Jesse, we've been talking a lot about the beverages and the adult beverages, and God knows, we got the tower of beer and we got the cases of the high noons, but a lot of people are doing dry January. Maybe you're thinking, look, I want to be sober for the win. You guys got people covered there too.
Yeah, if you want to stay sober, remember the win and have a good time, but still have something really fun and good to drink in your hand, we have you covered. So a lot of great options that we have here at Recess.
And one of the options is, I think, for people that need to know, like I said, they're probably panicking, trying to figure out where they're going to watch the game. Walk-in is an option. Reservations might be tight, trying to get a specific reservation, but you guys got a lot of walk-in ability.
We do. If you don't want to be walking around Chicago in the cold weather looking for a place to watch the game, you can come here. We have plenty of room. We're activating the City Hall side. We'll have 2 massive televisions, and you'll be able to enjoy the game, have some great food from Chef Amanda, and have some great cocktails.
So even in that walk-in room that we showed in the last hour, you can get food and drinks in there?
Yes, it will be available.
Chef Amanda, do you have enough food for that big giant room in there?
Absolutely, we're ready to go.
All right, they're ready to go, guys. All right, it is a great option for the Bears game on Sunday. There's another game beforehand as well. If you want to come out and watch that game as well, there's the Texans-Pats game. We're watching previous to right before the Bears. A lot of fun to be had out here, and unlike a lot of places in Chicago, they got room for you. So we're live out here in the West Loop. We're going to be back out here in the next hour. Guys, I heard you talking a lot about my jacket. I'm sleeping in it. I'm bathing in it. Yes. I'm showering in it. And more importantly, you can't have it.
Oh, darn it.
And on that note, we'll make sure that Jake continues to do live shots as the Bears win and not come into the studio.
Still jealous of the jacket. Caitlin Cody.
It's a cute jacket.
It is.
Cute
It's a nice jacket.
Nat Bomb has one kind of like that too, right?
A bomber jacket?
No, I've got
jacket?
the jean jacket that I made.
The orange bomber is what I'm thinking of. The orange bomber jacket.
I have a
shiny
sequin jacket. Yes. The jean jacket no longer fits. So hopefully next season I'll be able to shimmy back into that.
If there's any excuse to go shopping, I'll take it. So let's go to that store and get some Bears gear. Talking about the temperatures this morning, we actually feel pretty good. It's 27 degrees at the lakefront as well as O'Hare, 30 at LaSalle, 28 in Kankakee. Temperatures in Northwest Indiana are in the upper 20s too. So we actually feel Fairly mild this morning, but we do have scattered snow still coming down, especially from Chicago Point southeast. Take a look behind me where you can see that moderate snowfall now, mostly in eastern Will County and northwest Indiana. Also northwest of Chicago, McHenry County, Lake County, you're getting in on some more moderate snowfall. The rest of us, where you see that bright blue color, you might see some snowflakes here or there, but under an inch of accumulation is expected. Here's our futurecast. This afternoon, we're going to have some gustier winds. We're also going to have the potential for some spotty light snow holding on all the way through this evening. And then this weekend, the temperatures are dropping. We're going to see highs right around 20, and we have the potential for some light snow around both on Saturday and on Sunday. So let's take a look at the temperatures and this ride that we're going to be on. Now, by the way, I mentioned how it is going to be mild today. We're going to be in the 30s, but that's not going to last. I did tease that this weekend we're getting colder. So starting tonight, we're going to have those temperatures dropping down into the teens to start off your day Saturday. And look at that, 20 degrees. It's going to be chilly. Same thing on Sunday. So if you plan on going to the game, make sure you dress warm. It's 8:58. We have so much more ahead. Stay with us.
Watch